Hi there. Prepare to be captivated by an unparalleled journey into the heart of creating a Kafka VM in your Proxmox home lab server. What's unique about our approach? 1. We install Kafka in a Rocky Linux VM in your Proxmox server 2. Here we show you a new way to install Kafka without needing to install ZooKeeper 3. Then we introduce you to KRaft 4. There is an inherent problem with installing Kafka. We provide you with a unique shell script to fix that 5. We do not only show you how to install Kafka, but we also show you how to administrate a Kafka. You will now be empowered to work with Kafka in your Proxmox home lab. We will provide you with a link to our installing a Kafka in a VM in your Proxmox home lab. So, buckle up and expect to be amazed by this brilliant video. Please give our video a like. Now, without further ado, allow me to introduce you to our Kafka expert, Nico. Please note that Nico has a Dodecanese European accent, but he speaks the Queen's English fluently. Over to you, Nico.
Thank you, Josh. Hi there. Today we are going to install Kafka in a very different way. First of all, we are not going to use ZooKeeper, and we will show you a way to install Kafka without ZooKeeper. There's a new kid on the block, and his name is KRaft. Now, KRaft comes built in to the latest Kafka, and we are going to be using KRaft. The third thing that we are going to do, which is very unique, we are going to provide a unique way to get Kafka installed from a shell script to work revealing the Kafka commands. One more thing we have done in this video is we are not only going to show you how to install Kafka and get it working, our unique way where you actually get the commands exposed and not just shell scripts. We are also then going to show you how to administrate your Kafka server so that you can create topics and topics that behave like RabbitMQ queues. Which means you don't need to use Rabbit anymore. Kafka can do everything you need. What we are going to do today is a little bit unusual. Firstly, I'm going to install Kafka as a VM server in my Proxmox cluster. So let's start with that. I have chosen to use Rocky Linux as my VM server. So let's create a clone from the template. I'm going to call this Kafka VM. And make this a full clone. This will take a few minutes. You can see the server's busy generating the VM. Here's the VM being generated. Now the first thing I need to do is change the IP address. I'm just waiting for the console to complete starting the server. And now I can log in. Okay, and sudo su-, I want to be root user. Right, I'm now a root user. Now just let's see what the IP address is. Okay, I am going to change that. So since it's a Rocky Linux, I can run nmtui. nmtui. Edit. Enter. Enter. I want to change the IP address to 231. And going down. Okay. and back and activate. And here you have to press enter until you get the activate. Now we go back and quit. Now we can type IPA and I should have the IP address I want. So I can now close the console. I'm now going to open a new tab. SSH. Yes. I'm in, and I now also need to sudo-su, sudo-su. Right, I'm now root. For your convenience and for my convenience, I have provided a link to our blog. And in our blog, I have all the information that we need to do this. I'm just going to reduce just to give me a bit more space on the screen and also reduce this slightly. Actually, I can just move it down. I haven't created the sudo user here, so su-root. We now need to install OpenJDK. So the first thing I'm going to do is run this command. Actually, before you do that, you want to do a yum update -y. Always -y. Well, that was done, so let's continue. Now we can install OpenJDK. I just want to make a comment. I am going to be running Kafka without installing ZooKeeper. This is the latest way to run Kafka, is Kafka alone without ZooKeeper. It has great benefit doing it this way. We will be using KRaft. Some people call it KRaft. We prefer to call it KRaft. Now with that, let's continue. Having done that, I now need to go to the OPT folder, cd/opt, and I now need to download. Before I download, let me show you where I get this from. If you go to the Kafka downloads, you will see here, this is the one I chose is this one. You can choose either this one or this one. It's fine. But let's continue now with our procedure. So now you say wget. You can actually do it like this. If you right click here and you say copy link address, then you just say wget and you paste that. That's exactly what I did here. I don't have wget, so dnf install wget -y. Always -y. And with that, we can now run the command. ls-la kaf star. There it is. Now we need to extract it. Let's see if we have tar. dnf install We don't have tar. This new Rocky Linux, the minimum install is very minimal. It's a good thing. They're not putting bloatware in there. Only what you need, you add. So now let's run this command. ls-la-kaf*. You may move this folder to be this folder. It just depends on your liking. Personally, I'm going to leave it like this. So let's see. There we are. We have the content. Now there are a few things we need to do. I'm not going to create a Kafka user. I already have my user nickname on the server, so that's good enough. And just make sure that your user is a sudo user or a sudoer. That's the only thing you need to do. I'll provide a link below that shows you how to do that. You see, then you would own it, change the ownership. In my case, I would change the ownership to the user I have. Copy, paste. Now the first thing I need to do is we need to create the UUID or GUID. So we will run this command here. And then we will now run this command just to see what the UUID is or the GUID is. Now that will be unique for this server. Then you need to go and edit the bash RC. And here in the top we need to add the path. To Kafka. So I've now added the path to Kafka. Likewise, you would also add the path to your Java JDK. I'm not going to do that now. Control S, Control X. That saved it. If you look inside the bin folder, cd, sorry, I'm in the wrong place. cd bin. You will see that all the Kafka commands are made as .sh. They're made as shell scripts. This is now my unique approach. I want to convert them back from shell scripts back into commands. But instead of doing that, I'm going to create some links. So this is the command you run. We're going to create a file now and paste it in here. So this is where we are going to run this command. And I'm creating a shell script. This is now unique to our approach. Nobody else has done this. We now need to make the shell script executable. Run this command. And then we need to run the shell script. ls-la and bin. Now you see, you will now have a symbolic link as the command for every shell script. So this means we can actually run Kafka commands. We have just started Kafka server. So what we have done is we have started Kafka on our server. You can see I'm root at localhost. And then I opened 3 more tabs in my terminal. This is the command you will run to test however, that topic already exists. If I run it, it will give me an error. So I'm going to just change the topic to that. And it's now created me a new topic. Then we are going to run this command. I just need to change the topic name to test2. And it's given us information about the topic. So you can see there this topic is running. And I can run the command for the previous, because that's also running. There you can see it's running. So I'm not a liar. And we got that. Now we're going to send messages to the topic. First of all, we are creating now this should give me an error because I already have this topic. So if I run it, I expect to get an error. Yes. So in my case, I would just give it number 2. So this is how we create a topic with this command. Kafka topics, create the name of the topic, quick start event 2, in your case, quick start event, and we point to a bootstrap server. Always have to have this, and because I'm running it locally, it would be localhost and the port is 9092. But if I were to run this command from my laptop and point it to the server, then in that case, instead of localhost, I would put the IP address. And we can then describe this topic. And that's fine. Now we want to send messages to the topic. In order to do that, we have to use a producer. Kafka provides us with a console producer so that we can send messages through the console. So let's run this command. I'm going to run it here. Let's clear the clutter. And it gives us a prompt where we can type a message. Now, if I type, this will get lost. It's going to put the message on the queue, but there's no consumer, so nobody will receive that message. So we need to now set up the consumer. To do that, we run this command. What I have done, which is unique here, I have added from the beginning. If I remove this, you will see that it won't receive that lost message. So let us do this. And you see now we are not receiving that message. Message 2. Now we got message 2. So let's stop this and run the command again from the beginning. And now you will see it will pick up all the messages. And it's even picked up historical messages as well. So these were messages that I had created when I was testing my server. You'll notice there's a lot more messages here. That's fine. And then the instructions here are to set up Kafka as a service. It's in the blog. I won't be doing this now, but you can go ahead and do that to make this a service. But then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and look at the Kafka commands. So this section here, administrating Kafka. I now want to run the Kafka commands from the server, but I want to use the local user, the NICAM user, instead of root. So there are certain things you need to do. Firstly, you need to edit the bash rc folder as well. Ultimately, this is what you want to be able to do. I want to be able to say Kafka tab, and it lists me the Kafka commands, both the shell scripts and the commands. So that's fine. And in order to achieve that, we need to edit the bash rc, nano.bash rc. Just make a note of these 4 lines. I like to create a home folder. What I do is I point to there where we have extracted the tarball file, and that's the folder that was created in the OPT folder, and I've called that Kafka home. Then I have path is $Kafka home /bin, and then colon, add the existing path. So this will put this path in front, and you need to make sure that you export path. So we did provide you with this information already, but if you don't export path, it won't pick it up. Control S, Control X, and let's clear the screen. And now we can start administrating Kafka. I did leave a note in the front here that you needed to start the server, but that's fine. For this, I need more than one tab, so let's quickly create another one. And another one. I think that's enough for now. I'm just going to move this a little bit to the side so that I can switch easily between the two. This is the correct way or preferred way to create topics. We set Kafka topics, then we specify the bootstrap server as localhost port 9092. The topic, we gave the topic a name. I'm going to just put a 2 there because I've already created it and I don't want to get that error. Then you say create. And now we are going to create a topic with 3 partitions. And because I'm running a single server, I keep the replication factor as 1. You don't need to specify that, but it's good to know about this because in a cluster, then you can specify the number of nodes of Kafka servers as the replication factor. So if I run this, it's created me a topic. And if I go now and list, I should have more than one topic. And there they are. It looks to me like I could have created ZS6 BVR because I don't have that topic. Okay. Right. That's good. Now we can describe that topic. We've given you the correct way to create a topic where we have 3 partitions. We've listed all our topics. This is good to know what's on there. And now we're going to describe this topic. And you can see it's got 3 partitions. That's good. Now that we've done that, we want to create a producer to send messages to to this topic. I just want to clear the clutter. Let's go through this. So it's calling the console producer. Bootstrap server, that's the same. The topic is ZS6BVR. And then the producer is past the property, acts equals all. There's different ways of providing acknowledgements. This is specific to the way we have created this topic with partitions. It's recommended to use acts equals all because this way we guarantee that all the messages sent to all the partitions successfully. We will now create this. And now we need to create some consumers. Let's create a consumer. And now we can send a message to that topic. Hello, Nico. And the message got received. Now what we are going to do is we're going to change the behavior of our queue. And this is done through the consumers, not through the topic itself. What we are going to do is we're going to create a group. Let's take this command. Well, this is the command that we are going to be using. Now, first of all, let's create a new topic. If it's not already there, if it's there, we'll get an error, but that's fine. This is great. And this is how we do that. Copy that command. I'll explain. When you create a consumer and you specify the topic that we've done so far, but then when you add group and you specify a group, this could be any group name, it doesn't matter. That's good enough. By adding the group, in this case, SV1AHW as a group, what I'm doing is I'm going to group my consumers in such a way that one of them will receive one message and not all of them will receive the same message. So they will receive unique messages and each consumer will receive different messages from the next consumer. Now watch what happens when I send a message. each message is received by only one of the consumers. So here I have two consumers, and this one received the messages. Because I'm sending these messages by hand, there is a lot of delay, and so it is possible for one of the consumers to receive all the messages. But if the messages were big and I sent them synchronized all together, the topic received all the messages almost at the same time, then you will see that it will distribute them across the consumers. And this will give you a form of load balancing. But now, because I was very slow, but that's fine. We expected that. Sometimes when we did this, we actually, if you have two people and you can both send messages to the same topic, you might be able to do it. But for the purpose of this lesson, I wasn't able to do that. So let's go now and look at the consumer groups. I'm going to stop this. You see, I had created a group called SV1AHW there, and it picked up that consumer group. So this is how you can see what consumer groups you have. Now, the next part of the lesson, the last part, you want to be able to send data to the queue, not just messages. And sometimes you want to be able to send data where you have keys and values. I'm just going to go back and start this command. Copy, clear the screen. This is almost the same producer command. There is one difference now. You will see here that I have property path key. So this is telling Kafka that this producer is now going to be producing key value pairs. And that's what it's telling it, that we are using a key. Key equals true. And then I'm going to use colon as my separator. When I send my messages, I want to be able to send a message like that. So that's why I have specified the colon. So let's start this. And paste. And now let's go and look at our queues. And this picked it up. 1. ID 007 colon James. ID 007B colon Bond. So I should have James and Bond. Let's see. There they are. So let's see what we've done here. We've installed Kafka. We used my unique way of exposing the commands after installing from a tarball file. If you didn't use this procedure, you would never be able to get Kafka to work properly, and we have Kafka working properly. And then after we tested it and we got it working, we then went through the commands to be able to administrate Kafka. So at this stage, you have done two things. You've installed your Kafka, and now you can use Kafka. The next will be to do this in code. And with that, I hand you back to Josh. Over to you, Josh.
We thank you for watching this video, delving into the transformative potential of Kafka on your Proxmox home lab, and extending our appreciation to Nico for his insightful demonstration of installing and utilizing this remarkable tool. Today's journey wasn't just about what Kafka in your home lab can do to use, but we showed a unique way of installing Kafka not shown before. If you have not given us a like, please do so. Your commitment to exploring Kafka's capabilities has been invaluable. Stay tuned for more insights, more automation, and more empowerment through the incredible tools for your Proxmox home lab. Please give us a like and leave us a comment, which we value to get your feedback. Tell us what you would like to see in this channel. If you found value in this video, consider subscribing to stay updated with our latest content and tutorials. Subscribing ensures you never miss out on informative videos. We need your support to grow our channel. For those eager to deepen their knowledge, we invite you to become a Patreon supporter. This exclusive opportunity grants access to upcoming training courses, enriching your expertise while supporting the channel. Patreon supporters will receive exclusive access to our training courses, helping you stay at the forefront of technological advances. We genuinely appreciate your support and look forward to sharing more enriching content with you. Stay curious, keep exploring, and continue harnessing the remarkable potential that Kafka offers in your home lab and DevOps automation journey. Thank you for being a part of our community.